Okay, so for this E3 presentation, we had Sony. Uh, bit of a roller coaster. Like they started off with Last of Us 2, uh, and the conference actually took place. Like the conference hall actually took place in a scene from Last of Us 2, where they instant kind of dance thing. They set it up like similar to that, which is kind of cool. Um, And then they showed gameplay, which just looks like Last of Us on PS4. A couple new things like new way they did animations, a little more violent. It seemed like some of the enemies can actually keep track of where you're going. Like she said, oh, she headed into the grass. So it's not like you can just go into the grass and just hide. Like they'll actually follow you, which is interesting. I mean, it's Last of Us 2. Last of Us 1 for me wasn't like a masterpiece, but it was a good game. This one seems like it would also be a good game. Yeah, I still had fun playing it. There weren't too many faults in it, but it wasn't like anything that blew me away. And Last of Us 2 seems like a prettier version with maybe some better mechanics or something. I don't know. It's just I'll have to wait and see. It's a little more story focused than Last of Us 1. Like most people think Last of Us 1 was like huge story focused, but like the longest cutscene was at the end, and that was like 5 minutes long. Where this one like probably wasn't 5 minutes, but it felt like it was. So they might be adding more straight up cutscenes into it. And then the show like fell apart. Like they went to this like how like sometimes after the shows or before the shows they have discussions about games and stuff like that and other things. They went straight into that after The Last of Us 2. I don't know why they did that at all. It was really weird, and I thought that was going to be the show, is that was going to be big game, intermission, big game, intermission, big game, intermission. That's what I thought at first, and it did not seem good. And like they showed two games, Call of Duty, Black Ops, whatever, and Destiny 2. So I'm thinking like, oh god, they're going to do this every time where it's going to be big game, intermission, some announcements, stuff like that. It wasn't, thank God, because that part was legitimately bad and actually brought this whole conference down a bit. Quite a bit, actually. Not just a bit, quite a bit. And then they got to Ghost of Tsushima, which, when that game was first revealed, I was hyped. Now I'm conflicted. Like, it got to actual gameplay, so we did actually see stuff. It wasn't just like another CG trailer. I guess we'll start with the positives. The game is gorgeous. Like, holy shit, it looks graphically, like, lighting and everything, it looks great. And, like, the aesthetic, like, the very like, I'm not one for hugely cinematic things, but it looked so good. Like, that one fight that had the end with the red leaves and the sunset looked amazing. And not just graphically, just, like, the way it was shot, too. It just looked so fucking cool. And then we get to the actual gameplay, which it does seem to be open world, which, alright, whatever. It seems like this character has the fear takedown from Arkham Knight, or something that functions very similar to that, honestly. And the combat, like, I don't know, I'm mixed on it, because it's like, it's slow, and not what I was expecting, but at the same time, it seems more of a thing of like you have to actually plan out your moves, not just wail on it and then maybe occasionally dodge an attack. It's like you actually have to plan out what you're doing, like an actual sword fight. And then the story is like the takeover of the Mongols and everything, but like this, they seem to plop us in some kind of like plot important moment, but we got no context, so it's like we got no context, so it's like I don't care what's happening. It looks great, but I don't care what's happening. They should have did something that I guess in the main game probably like filler or a side mission or something, but something that could be like easy to comprehend what's going on. Because right now it's just the Mongol invasion. I need this guy. Oh, now I gotta kill him. I don't know. It's weird. And then something with all Sucker Punch games is that like some animations look great and others look jank as shit. And Sucker Punch has always had this issue. Like go back to the first 3 Sly Cooper games, because 4 doesn't count because that wasn't made by them. the first three Sly Cooper games, the in-game animations were usually fine, and then you get to cutscenes and it's like, huh. And like Infamous, the first one, was one of my favorite games of all time. That has that issue too. Like the in-game animations look great, and then the cutscenes are like, oh god, what the hell? Not the comic book cutscenes, the in-game cutscenes, like the most basic, like we loaded in this animation and then it just bounces back to default pose. Not T-pose, thank God, but it just bounces back immediately. It's so noticeable. Even back in 2009, where we were still trying to figure out how next-gen graphics worked, it was so noticeable. I'm like, oh god. I think Infamous 2 did fix that a bit, and I think, while still having some jank animations, Second Son is probably their best animated game. And Tsushima seems to have that problem too. Just some of the animations looked weird. Some looked fine. Usually the motion capture stuff looked fine. And then, like, some of the sword movements, but, like, some of just the running animation, like, the horse running, it just looked off. And I don't know if they're going to fix that, or that's going to be in the game. And knowing the fact that Sucker Punch does have a habit of janky animation, that could be in the game. I'm not sure. Then they actually prove that, no, it's not just these big games. They do have small announcements. It was like a normal... It was more of a normal, press conference than like they've usually done for the past 2 years, 3 years actually, 2015 to 2017. It's like they were just going game after game after game after game, with not much in between. It was kind of like that, just with those 4 big games. It was slightly more time than others. That's all it was, which is like that's what they've done before. So I don't know why they would advertise like that. It's weird. But we got to some game called Control, which we don't know much about, but looks like it's physics based. I kind of want to see more about that. It looked really trippy. Really trippy. I'm curious how it is. And then we got Resident Evil 2 Remake. I couldn't care less, but I know there's a lot of people out there who really like this. And it seems like it's not going to be like Resident Evil 1 Remake, where it's the normal tank control, Resident Evil style camera like it always is. It seems more like Resident Evil 4 style. Probably still tank controls, but more Resident Evil 4 style. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's actually coming out soon, like early 2019. I think it was January 2019. That's pretty good, all things considered. I myself, like I said, I couldn't care, but I know this will make a lot of people happy. And then we got to a really awkward part with Trover Saves the Universe. It's made from Justin Roiland, one of the creators of Rick and Morty. It has that awkward humor that Rick and Morty sometimes has. I have no idea what to make of the game. It was like supposed to be like, oh, we're all self-aware and really and parroting everything and pointing out all this stuff, and it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm okay with Rick and Morty. I'm not one of those people who I'm not like, going to McDonald's yelling "Ree" and saying I'm Pickle Rick and everything like that, and making a complete ass of myself. But I mean, I watch it occasionally. It's funny. I know if any Rick and Morty fans listening to this, I'm pretty much lynched now. But I don't know. There's some stuff about the comedy like that would either get me like fully where I crack up, and other times I'm like, that wasn't actually a good joke. Maybe I just don't get it. Even though I graduated from college, apparently I'm not smart enough to understand Rick and Morty or something. Whatever. But I had that kind of humor, and it's just like awkward. I'm gonna skip one game for now. It's the game that came immediately after. I'm gonna skip that for now and go to Death Stranding. We actually did get gameplay snippets, but we still have no idea what the game is. It's open world survival horror, which is cool, but like my friend Nick said, or the Synergy 333, it seems right now like a walking simulator. Like, yes, I did see him have a gun in one part, but we never actually see him use it. So as of right now, it's just sneaking around, walking into this giant empty wasteland, which is also kind of the point, but still. Oh god, professional. I don't know. Like, it's still intriguing, but that's about it. Any kind of like actual like hype I had is slowly going down, which seems to be for a lot of these Sony games, either because of overexposure or just big promises. I don't know. I'm burping a lot. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure at the Game Awards it'll probably just be another cinematic. Which, yay, we're gonna reveal another actor or actress that we can shove them into the game because face recognition. But yeah, like, we didn't see much of gameplay. In the very little we saw, there was a couple interesting things, but it wasn't much. And then we got Nioh 2, which, first off, that's 3 samurai games showed at E3. That's Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima, and Nioh 2. It's the year of the samurai, apparently. I did have the first Nioh. It's not, it's not an actual From Software game, but it is a very Souls-like game. I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like it as much as Bloodborne, but I did think it was pretty good. It doesn't seem like that's William Adams this time. It seems like it's something else, or something else, someone else. But yeah, Nioh 2, that's awesome. And then I noticed something because Sekiro has Shadows Die Twice, right? And even though Souls games are known to be very difficult and you're always dying and everything, Shadows Die Twice had a thing where they said death won't come easy. So maybe there'll be a I never went over this in the Microsoft one, but maybe there'll be a mechanic that you actually, after you die, you can immediately get back up and continue where you left off. And then maybe after that, if you die, you die. But, like, maybe that'll be a mechanic. This one might have something similar because instead of, it first off said defy death, and then afterwards change it to death defies you. So, are these games going for a thing where, like, oh, we're known for difficulty people dying, and let's actually make it harder to die? Because that just makes the game easy, unless there's some kind of penalty, like you lose, like, even if you can start right where you left off, like, immediately where you left off, like, you lose everything, all your equipment and everything like that. I don't know if that'd be good game design, but it's something to balance that out, because if you can never die, it's not a challenge, no matter how cool or even if the game is difficult and you always constantly die, if you can't actually fully die, what's the point? But I guess it's just speculation right now. I could be wrong on both fronts with both games. It's just what I got. The Shadows die twice, dying twice, and it showed in that trailer you die and you get back up, and this one says death defies you instead of you defying death. So, I don't know. It's too early to speculate with either of them. They ended the show with Spoderman, Peter Spoderman, Spider-Man. It was another set piece, because if they just swung around New York, it would have been boring. But I'll get to that in a second. It was a prison escape. And they showed Electro in a very different outfit. Like, very different. He was causing havoc. Not X-Men Havoc. Oh god, that was bad. Okay, shame on me. He was causing havoc around, releasing prisoners, and like one by one I had trouble writing down like which villains it was. Like, oh shit, it's this one. Oh no, now it's this one. Oh crap, now it's this one. And my computer's freaking out again. God damn it. Huh. So it was Electro, and then they showed Rhino in a really cool redesign. He looks kind of like Ultimate Rhino. That's interesting. And then they had Scorpion in a very awesome suit, and they had Vulture too. With the exception of Scorpion, is it weird that these are also villains from just the movies? Like, Electro and Rhino were in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Vulture was in Homecoming. And, I mean, Scorpion was in the Spider-Man 3 video game, but he wasn't actually in any of the movies. Oh, no, I was wrong. I'm wrong about that. He is in Homecoming. But not actually Scorpion. It's just, Matt Gargan, or, I don't think it was even Matt Gargan. They tease Scorpion in Homecoming, but he's not actually in Homecoming. He is, but he isn't. So I guess they're just, don't show the movie villains. You had Mr. Negative, which was a good thing, because he's kind of not he kind of is in the movies, but also not. Like, he's the principal in Homecoming. That's actually Mr. Negative. Spoilers if nobody knew that. But he wasn't actually Mr. Negative in those movies, so like, please don't take villains just from the movies. I mean, you showed that you had Kingpin, which, thank God, hasn't been in a Spider-Man movie. He's technically in the MCU because of Daredevil on Netflix, but he's not actually. I don't know. I guess I kind of get. Do something where it hasn't been in any of the movies yet, please, please. Craven, do Craven. He hasn't been in any of these movies yet. You have so many Spider-Man villains. You can Carnage, bring back Carnage. I want to say Venom, but he's getting his own movie. You have so many things you can do. Please don't just stick to MCU stuff, please. I know you're taking Spider-Man's eye design from MCU, but please don't stick to that, please, Insomniac. But I mean, it's Spider-Man. We actually got more of the combat, which we all thought was just Arkham-based with some webbing, and like while it's still there, it is actually a lot more combat focused. You can do air combos, you can do special moves, and while it still has, I think some of those Arkham elements, it's probably not as pronounced as it was in that first gameplay trailer, which is good. But it was another set piece, and I don't know. Now, do the webs actually stick to buildings? Because like in the open world, it's hard to tell because buildings are everywhere. But in this like set piece, like they're really small portions, and to me, it seems like at times he was sticking to the sky. And now I know they said that like that they actually had a program like that, otherwise they would be lynched by the fans. Since Spider-Man 2, the video game had that. But like there were times where it just seemed like it stuck to the sky. I don't know. Maybe it could be we just don't see it. I don't know. You probably can't turn the camera around in like a set piece part anyway. And then they teased someone at the end. I don't know if it was a villain or a hero. Computer freaking out again. I want to say it was Iron Man. I don't want to be Iron Man. I want it to be a solely Spider-Man game with no other characters or Marvel characters that we weren't expecting, like say the X-Men, like Web of Shadows had. I want to say it was Iron Man. I also hope it wasn't. I hope it's actually a villain. But they just like, oh, you cut to black. And it's like, damn. And besides the one game I skipped, that was the end of the show. But they did reveal one game afterwards. And I think, like, as I'm recording this, they're currently playing Spider-Man in the open world, which shows more of the swinging, which, you know, I'll get to that when I get to that. You know, just get the game. Which was, God, freaking, I don't know how to pronounce this. Durancier? I don't know. It's a FromSoft VR game, and it's nothing like Souls, so don't expect Souls or anything like that, because they have made more games than just Souls games. You know, they made Metal Wolf Chaos, a bunch of Armored Core games. They have made more stuff than just Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff. So keep that in mind. But yeah, it's some VR game. We don't know anything about it, but it looks interesting. And okay, now the one game I skipped was Kingdom Hearts 3, and the reason why is because in my Square Enix video, I said they probably weren't going to show much, because they didn't want to reveal too much. That's why maybe the Xbox trailer and their trailer was so, like, similar. And I thought, okay, probably Sony's going to have the same trailer, but maybe something a little different. I was dead wrong. They had a whole new trailer, and, oh, God, it was this, okay, when I was, I don't know if it was my Microsoft video or the Square Enix video, but I said I wasn't, like, I'm still hyped for the game, but I wasn't, like, screaming. I was screaming for this one. This one was so cool, because they brought back Pirates of the Caribbean, which I don't think anybody was actually expecting. Like, I remember, like, way before Kingdom Hearts 3 was ever even announced, that I would imagine, what if we had, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3 in a Kingdom Hearts, like, game again, right? Because Kingdom Hearts 2 only actually covered the first movie, and its own original plot, which, whatever. So I was thinking, what if we actually had 2 and 3? Lo and behold, it just took, like, 8, 9 more years after that. Now, I'm not counting Kingdom Hearts 2, I'm counting from what I thought about this, because if I'm counting Kingdom Hearts 2, it would have been, 12 years? I'm counting after Kingdom Hearts 2. I think I started thinking about this around 2009, maybe, this concept. So I would say for me, you know, around, I don't want to do the math. It's been a while. I thought about this concept for a while. It's actually in the game, which now makes me think: are we gonna get one or two boss fights with Davy Jones, and even have a fight with the Kraken? Oh my god! Oh my god! If we get a fight with Davy Jones and the Kraken, not at the same time, but like, oh, have a freaking battle in that awesome like this storm they had at the end of 3. Oh my god! Oh god, okay, I need to slow down. Alright. Unlike last time, the crew actually had Sword Doll and Goofy take a shot, actually have costumes, because in 2 they didn't. In 2 they like clashed hard. It was the really quote-unquote realistic graphics of Pirates of the Caribbean with the cartoony style of Kingdom Hearts 2. But with this, are they still saying that they had the shaders? Because I remember in Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 3, when it was announced, or some point after that, they said, like, each world has its own shader. Are they still doing that? Because they meshed a lot better this time around. They look a little more like they fit in. Plus, like the actual like crew of the Pirates of the Caribbean. First off, it's not just three. It's not just three characters now. It's not just Jack, Will, and Elizabeth. It's actually like his crew. Like you see, oh, I forgot the rest of the crew's name, but you actually see more of them. So that's awesome, and the fact they actually look like this looks like Square Enix made Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie trilogy, the official video game series. Like, I think Pirates has had some movie games before, but this looks like Square Enix made one. It's fucking amazing. And then Sora's pirate outfit just completely wipes away any other pirate announcements we had this E3. Skull and Bones, get the fuck out of here. See it, three thieves who plays you anymore. Sora has a pirate costume and it's amazing. And then I don't think they got James Arnold Taylor back to voice Jack Sparrow. Unless he drastically improved from 2. They either actually got Johnny Depp, which I doubt. I really doubt they paid for Johnny Depp. But they either got Johnny Depp or a really, really close sound-alike. Because that sounded a lot better than... James Arnold Taylor is a good voice actor. He was not good as Jack, though. He was just could not fit Jack. Like, Crispin Freeman as Will Turner sounded similar enough. James Arnold Taylor, great voice actor, love a lot of his stuff. He could not do a good Johnny Depp impression. Either this is Johnny Depp, or we got a much better impressionist, or James Arnold Taylor came back and just improved it. I don't think it was him though. Luxord's back, and I remember I think in the Xbox trailer I forgot to mention this. Larsheen was taken over by Xehanort because her eyes weren't blue; they're yellow. Same with Luxord; his eyes are no longer blue; they're yellow. So, instead of having just actual 13 Xehanorts like we were promised, spoilers for anyone who hasn't caught up, they actually brought back some of the organization members, and maybe they get more importance, because Luxord was sorely underutilized. They extended more of the Axel and Kai... Oh, sorry. Yeah, spoilers. They extended more of the Lee and Kairi scenes. We saw Kairi's new outfit, and she has a haircut. I didn't know that part. I knew they teased the outfit. I didn't know she had got a new haircut. Oh my god, what else did I miss from that trailer? I'm sure there was some stuff that I missed. You know what? Screw it. Let me just look really quick. Pirates. God, it looks so good. Oh yeah, Sora can swim underwater again. He hasn't done that since I think Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh my god, it looks so good. Like, they mesh in stupidly well. Oh my god, yeah, the art style changed. And like, oh my god, I want Square Enix to make a Pirates of the Caribbean game, because this looks really good. Oh, don't play that. Oh, okay, yeah, and then they showed more of Hercules World, which actually now the other Titans are in the game. You have the Ice Titan, the Tornado one, which I think is actually Typhon, the Magma one. What is this one? This Toy Story, Frozen again, more Tangled. Vanitas and Monsters Inc. like we were teased before. More with Ansem, Seeker, Darkness, and Semnus, Zigbar / Break. Okay, yeah, so yeah, and then they had so that teaser replica is true. Like, the one character we actually thought in Kingdom Hearts that would actually be dead, and the tease we had, like, oh, I'm gonna leave my Keyblade here in case the other me needs it. Yeah, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's actually back, and you can tell it's him because he has his design from Chain of Memories, because it clashes with the new Riku hard. Yeah, like, this was finally this was finally the Kingdom Hearts trailer that I wanted, and it came in a very meh Sony conference. Like, Sony's conference, like, Last of Us 2, I was excited when it was first announced. Now I'm like, it's more of the same, which isn't a bad thing, but, like, it's more of the same. Ghost of Tsushima, I was excited when it's announced. Now I gotta kind of follow it, see how it goes. Death Stranding, I was excited when it was announced. Now I gotta kind of follow and see how it goes. Spider-Man, I'm still excited for. I just think, like, at this point, we just actually need to stop trailers. We need just maybe one more in the month of August, and that's it. So this conference gave me some stuff just to be wary of. But they gave me Neo 2, and it gave me amazing Kingdom Hearts 3 shit that why wouldn't Square show this at their own thing? I was discussing this with Nick. Why wouldn't they show it their own thing? I get why. But why? Like, yes, it probably makes more sense that people probably watch Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony more in the other conferences. Like, they'd be like, what's a Square Enix? I get that. but you'd think they'd still have something more than just a slightly different trailer. I don't know, but it was that trailer itself was fantastic, but I'm not going to be biased to say, oh, that one trailer saved the whole show. No, the show started off good, then immediately went to shit, and then started rising and falling, going up and down throughout the entire show, not counting Kingdom Hearts. And even if you're not a Kingdom Hearts fan, you cannot deny that that was cool. Even if you hate this series, you cannot deny that it's at least cool looking. Good, okay, not cool looking, good looking. Even if you hate it, you cannot deny how good that looked. But yeah, that's my, that's what I felt on the Sony E3 press conference. Kind of just a roller coaster. So, one more to go. Let's see if we can, dethrone Microsoft, because Sony could have done it, and they didn't. Let's see if Nintendo can.